Masters content. Let's go, guys. So this was week number 2 for me. We're pretty well into the season now, and the interesting thing was, so I was coming into the season a little late, but was graciously allowed to join. And my first week, if you saw my previous videos of Masters, you'll know that it didn't go too well. Thankfully, I've worked myself out of that slump, and it's just been tough, guys. A lot of lifestyle changes, like I mentioned, and really very, very little time to practice, if any. So it's basically just been competition. And I know, a lot of us, like pool players, amateur pool players, will sort of live and die by that, right? That it might basically just be competition and not a lot of training or practicing. So interesting setup here. Take what you make. I was looking back on this is still fresh for me. So I think probably the better play here, instead of, I try to go for the 14 and then the 13. But I'm just wondering if that's really the right approach. Looking at where the 13, where I need to be on the 13 to get across. Part of the thinking was that the 9-ball, I don't know if it'll go in the bottom side here. I know that it goes in the bottom right. So I was thinking about trying to work my way over for the 9-ball in the bottom right and use that as the key ball for the 8, which could certainly work out, but it ended up just being that the shape on the 11 was a little tough. So I'm just really picking my spot here, coming off the 13. I'm gonna kind of glide off the rail. So it worked out, kind of sliding into that. It seems like my whiteboard doesn't want to work today, so I won't be able to draw our usual lines, unfortunately. Left myself a little tougher here on the 11. I'm also bridging really long, so awkward cueing. And I end up stabbing at this, get pretty unfortunate to scratch off that miss. So a little bit of frustration early. I think my leave on the 11 was okay, but I really should have shortened up my form and kept a shorter bridge on that shot because it was touchy. And I was sliding across for the 10 to try to shape the 9. I think the shape from the 10 to the 9 is not too difficult, even if you end up straight on the 10. So we get our first look at Bryan here. I believe Bryan is the captain of the opposing team. And I was playing at this location was new to me. It was a bit of a rough entry coming into Masters and playing on the tables from last time. Like I mentioned in my videos, just the conditions were pretty rocky. So we're playing on diamonds here, obviously. They're worn in, I'll say. Bryan's going to take a tough combo, 4 to the 2. Plays it well. I think the 4 gets out enough that he can cut it. I remember looking at this one. Yeah, he was fine. I think from where I was sitting, it looked a little weird. So he's got to, just sort of overdid it. And I look pretty clean on the 9-ball here. And I remember trying to come across for the 10 because I felt like the 10 to the 13 was easier than the 13 to the 10. And rolling out from the 9 to get up on the 13 could work. But the problem is if you hit this too firm, if you hit this 9-ball too firm into that right-hand point, there's a chance for it to bobble out. So you do have to get into this one pretty smooth. I guess I could take the 10 first. I don't know if I like the cut on the 10 in the side. Yeah, so I just try to come into that a little too firm. Have not settled in yet. This is an interesting set. You guys have to let me know what you think about this one. Because 8-ball is usually my game. You know, I usually really enjoy bar box 8-ball. And I just had some trouble here in the first few racks. But it was interesting coming into this, especially with a bit of a chip on my shoulder about the Masters League. And I really have to, you know, like show these guys that I deserve to be on the team kind of thinking, which is obviously not productive. Oh, give me ball in hand, Bryan. Nope, not today. Having to deal with those mental pressures and cope with that and still play well. And yeah, I don't want to give anything away, but I really bring my skills to bear in this particular set, and it pays off. And it felt like a little breakthrough in a way. He's going to try to run the 7 down the rail. It's tough. Overcut it. Oh, brutal. So we both had a pretty painful scratch in this opening rack. You might notice that I have my earbuds in, and that was an interesting decision for this day, specifically because, and I don't leave the background music in from my videos. I always cut that out just because there's usually copyright music playing in the background. But in this case, it was karaoke day, and there was a lot of noise, and I had a fair amount of noise happening up here to begin with. So I just decided to change things up a little bit. I used it in this set and the second set, but I do believe at one point in this first set, I decided that it wasn't really helping me out too much, so I decided to put them away. This is a pretty straightforward out, but I'm taking extra time just to make sure that I really settle in, and obviously the cue ball wasn't dropping at first. So pretty simple 3-ball pattern here. Tons of options of ways to get this done, but you know, how do you minimize movement? How do you minimize that cue ball travel? Take a bit longer of a shot on the 8-ball, but I'm just basically rolling this 9-ball in, and I should land straight on the 8. But in those cases, taking a few more seconds to really dial in your pattern gives you the confidence of knowing that I'm making this as easy on me as possible. Second ball break was working pretty well. Pretty good cue ball, though it gets kicked around. And you gotta like this. Nothing's tied up. The 5 and the 11 on the top left are, you know, kind of blocking each other, but so I've got choice, I think. 6, yeah, 2 solids, 1 stripe, I think. It's interesting, the 6 and the 9 are in very similar positions. The 13 and the 11 make for decent key balls up towards the 8. So it looks like I'm just trying to roll up to clear the 11 early, underhit that one. Really needed a good bounce off the rail. I think maybe 5 more seconds on that one to think it through, because if I bounce back up in line with the 11 and the 13, you end up with either of those. Although the 13 makes for a great key ball, it will bail you out if you overrun position on the 11, and then you can use the 13 to get to the 11. I think if I had played it that way, I would have been guaranteed to get out here, and now in this case I have to make some funkier shots to get out. But I land okay on this. A little help from the 1-ball, and I get reasonably straight on the 15. If I had more angle, I'd be able to come out. I could shape the 13 to the 10 in the side. You're taking away your key ball, but yeah, I think ideally I'm keeping the 13 until last, just because it's so close to the 8. Probably shaping the 9 here. Yeah, I just want to float back. This is a good shot to settle me. Because I'm straight on the 9, I'm trying to look at, yeah, so I'll look at my line on the 13. If I can play for both, if I play for the 10 and the bottom side, that would be better. So I should probably be, I think I tried it and overhit it. The 13 is much safer to try to land on it, but the 10 to the 8 is a little tougher. So I think in this case, I will be trying to, if I'm flat on the 13, if I'm pretty straight on it, I can just come off one rail, get under the 10, close to sort of that third diamond on the long rail, diamond closest to the bottom side. But if I have a bit more of an angle, oh, overhit this. This was looking like a pretty sweet run out, but overhit this guy too. The cut's there, but you're turning the cue ball loose. I don't know if I'd be able to hold it with that thin of a cut. I end up looking at a bank, I'm pretty sure. If I send this back cross side, can I hold it? This is a little touchy too, because it's sort of probably at just definitely outside, definitely left spin, maybe low left. But it's at a soft speed. Oh, just slightly overdid it on the angle. Speed was good though. It's a very playable shot. That one would be worth practicing. Bryan's got to take a bit of a flyer at this 5 ball. Looks okay. How does it finish? Got the 4 ball to bail himself out. Gets through that one pretty good. Rolls into the 1. See if he comes away with something. A little bit of a hand flip. He's not thrilled with it. The 1 ball goes in the side. I think you got to play that. Play the 1 ball on the side, maybe roll into the, let's see. Yeah, went for it, overcut it. And he's giving me a shot. He's giving me an out. Watch this one, guys. I remember the shot. It's interesting because when I was in Colorado with my home table, this is very, very similar to a shot, if not identical to a shot that I was practicing religiously for a good while, where it's basically stun follow. Like you hit it firm and you make contact with that ball, and it takes a lot of the cue ball's energy, and then it sort of stuns into the top long rail and lays up on the short rail 2 diamonds away from the 8. But watch how tentatively I hit this. Just like sloppy. Yeah, you might as well scratch. Sloppy and like scared and just overly conservative. So the mindset just wasn't there. This sort of killer instinct mindset. I haven't tapped into that yet. You just got to shoot that ball in. There's a lot of ways to get shape on the 8 from there, and just wasn't ready to win yet. I wasn't settled. It's a very, very winnable game that I'm giving away. And you got to keep your mentality in check. You got to make sure that you are reassuring yourself that, like, dude, it's only game 2. There's a lot of pool left. You know, whatever you need to tell yourself. But I like his decision to go from the 7 to the 6, because getting from the 6 to the 1 or something, and then under the 7 to get above the 8 might be a little tougher. In this case, he gives himself kind of rushing into the 6 ball here. But as long as he stays under the 1, he will be able to get on the 8 pretty easily. Ooh. Yeah, he's not going to love that. Choice here is to, yeah, basically just cinch this in and take a bit more of a shot. Yeah, take a bit more of a shot on the 8 instead of trying to move the cue ball all the way around to get a little cuter, get a few diamonds closer. I think he made the right decision there. But pretty close to a cue ball foul. Kind of poked at it. I like that he's settling himself here. Grab some chalk and walk around and look at the back of the ball. And yeah, you see a lot of good habits in this. Clearly an experienced player. Taking his time on this one. He wants to win. I have not decided that I want to win yet. And that's going to bite me, because the balls know. head ball break, but maybe a little low on the cue ball, really flies off the rack. And a big cluster to deal with. Just feeling a little crunchy at this point from having given that one away, which is so silly, guys. It's so silly because it was so early in the match, and by no means am I playing poorly, right? But that's so much of what I'm working on, is just the mentality, like how I don't know, how I see myself or how I think other people are seeing me. It's a lot of sort of external variables, like things that are completely outside my control. I start to settle a little more in this rack, I seem to remember, but it was just a sort of a crunchy 8-ball set for me. I think I've got the 6 in the side. I don't know if I can get into the 4 to nudge it, or if I have to just try to hold the ball. I'm also elevating. Oh, I tried to nudge the 4 a little bit. This is interesting too, though, right? Because you're not going to hate turning over this table to your opponent, where it's a very, very challenging cluster to negotiate. And I haven't made many of my balls, so I'm still going to have a look at something unless he plays a really good lockup safe. Plays a cut, kind of goes into the cluster. Comes away with something though, right? I do believe he's got that 9-ball. Looks like he's queuing kind of off. Wow. Managed to come back out for the 14. That's a good shot. Played it pretty far to the outside of the pocket, the left side of the pocket. Can he force follow through this and develop that 15 that's in there? Yeah, he had to sort of roll through it. That works. The 13 might not go in the bottom left, though. And his 8-ball's still tied up. So 8-ball, as we've heard, as we've talked about here, it can be a game of patience. You know, give him an inning. Wow, nice shot. Give him an inning to move some stuff around. And he's sort of shooting himself into a corner here. Does he have a shot on the 15, though? Did he get an edge on that ball? He's probably just going to fire at it. He's got to do it. No option for the 8. Okay. Not happy about that. What's the play here? The 1-6 combination is available, but it's kind of gross. No future. 4 balls there, but it's maybe too thin of a back cut to develop the 2 and the 3. I'm pretty sure I have access to the 5 ball, so maybe the play is shoot the 5 into the 15, making the 15, and leave him under the 2 and the 3. I see. So I'm going to play the 3 into the 5 and the 15 and put him in the cluster. Or just, okay, move the 3 in front of the 15. That's something. I wonder about that. I might not have seen the play when I was at the table, seeing that play the 5 into the 15. I don't mind this, though, because it just leaves him sort of an awkward back cut on the 10, which is very missable, and his 15 is in trouble. Nice shot. Got shape on the 13. If he's thin enough for the 13 on the 13, he might be able to get through. This is tough. Oh. Shaping the bank. That one won't work. It's a good idea, though. I think if you get closer to the right short rail, you could get under the 15 and like cross it. It's a pretty good play. Opens up the pocket for him. I don't think I remember specifically why, but I do remember coming to the table feeling pretty frustrated at this point. Just a crummy mindset. I'm working on it, guys. I'll get there. I'm looking at a bank on the 4. This one was supposed to be a two-way shot where I stop the cue ball. I end up mishitting it, I think. But I'm intending to shoot the 4. If I make it, I have a look at the 6 or something. Maybe the 5 goes in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm not sure. But play a two-way such that if I make the 4, I continue to shoot. I've got to look at something. If I don't make it, I'm not giving him a look at the 15 except for kicking into it. Yeah, and I flirt with the 8 ball a little bit and give him the 15. So that's not going to help my frustration. This is definitely going to settle Bryan. And if he grabs this 8 ball, he'll pull ahead. We were chatting a little bit, all in good fun. He's a good guy. It's funny though, I tend to assume that if I put in my earbuds, people aren't going to talk to me as much, and some people just don't see it that way. They just keep sending it out there. He's supposed to make this, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh. Missed a bit of the break shot there in my editing. Apologies for that. Let's see. Didn't come away with much. He's got to go thin off the 15 here. Looked like an okay hit. Yeah, kind of a cluster situation here again. The 5, 6, and the 14 are pretty tough. I don't know if the 2 ball goes clean or not. But I think he gave me the 4 ball. So I should be able to roll through this 4 ball and at least get a look at something. I was able to get across and actually develop things a little bit, which is nice. I don't think the 5 ball will go. I've got to look at the 6. The 1 ball goes in the side. If I play the 1 ball now, drop on the 2. If I get on the top side of the 7, I could probably roll into the 5 to develop that, unless the 5 goes in the bottom right, which is probably what I'm looking at now. Staying above the 5 ball, like closer to the side pocket, and then I can play the 5 in the bottom right-hand corner. But the 10 might be in the way. Yeah, just ease the 1 ball in here. Make sure the 3 ball stays open. Played it pretty thin. Okay. I might just be playing safe here, like roll the 2 towards the pocket. Yeah, I don't mind this. I left him on top of the 9 so that shooting at the 11 was going to be tough. Not sure that he has the 15. He's got the 13 in the side, though. That's probably his best bet. He's got work to do because the 14 and the 10 are in bad spots. But if he gets on the 9, he could roll forward for the 10. Nice. That's what I like. Just let me play again. This is interesting, right? Because the 3 wants to take you to the 7. The 6-2 combination's there, but it seems like I'm lining up the 5, 10, 6, 2. I might just be better off rolling the 5 up. Got to stay above the 5 ball here. Really don't want to have to back cut it. I think it might have been better to break out the 14 and the 5 to leave an angle on the 7. I might just be trying to send the 5 ball up towards the 2 ball. Keep that pocket really gummed up with solids. I think the problem with this strategy, though, is... Oh, just nudged past it. Problem with this strategy is if he puts me up table, he's just going to be able to get ball in hand. And then he could... If he gets ball in hand from here, he can play his 10 ball and probably shape the 9 to go off the 5, and that opens up the pocket. And the 9 takes you to 14. He's attacking, so he must... Maybe he likes the 11 off the 5. It's a good reset. Love to see a good reset. He could play the 9 now. It's a little riskier. Going for the 13. I think he was trying to make that ball. And he put me on the 5, which is really unlikely based on where things were. This is a pretty tough situation, though, because I don't think I can make the 5 clean. It's a bit of a back cut. It's sending me towards the 6. I might have to just ease this in, guarantee that the 5 goes in, give it enough pace to go in, and then get between the 6 and the 2. It's really touchy. Ugh. Messed up the 6. I look at a safe here, and I just basically try to put him behind the 6, like between the 6 and the rail. Oh, and it just rolls slower than I anticipated. This was just a feel thing for me. I just mishit it. There are certainly situations where the table plays a little patchy. You know, there's sort of sections that roll a little faster than others. I don't think I noticed too much of that with this one, although this particular location does have a lot of spills. You can see it on the top right. No excuses in this case, though. Like, I definitely should have been able to hit that better. And I had plenty of room. I didn't have to get too tidy behind the 6. Because even overhitting the 6 a little bit, you're still going to end up underneath it. And it'd be pretty nasty for him to be stuck there. He's still got work to do, unless the 14 goes now, in which case he should stop shot this. He's rolling through. Okay. As long as he's above the 14, he should be able to develop the 10. I'd probably play into the 10 ball from here. He went into the 2 first. Bryan's like the master of the hand flip. Can he cut the 10 and end up on the 9? Probably. There's a lot of table up there. That should be the play. Kind of a severe... Okay. Come on, Bryan. You don't want to give me ball in hand? This one's a little weird. I remember having an edge on the 6. It was very thin. So it's cuttable, but no guarantee to land on the 2. Because realistically, you're trying to get on the bottom long rail to have a back cut on the 2. Yeah, from like in there somewhere. Or come all the way down and back, cut the 6 in, go up table, back down table, and land on that same short rail for the 2-ball. Very hard to control either way. The other option is just make sure you make a good hit on the 6 and send it towards the pocket to keep those blocked and get the cue ball back up table. I think you could even go rail first at that if you wanted to. Let's see what I do. I don't remember. The mechanics look pretty good though. Don't scratch, dude. That top left pocket really wants him. Came away okay. Looked like sort of a rail first to come off the back side of the 6, come back up table. I think that plays okay because it keeps the 6 and the 2 in his way. From here, you could play the 9 rail first into the 2. Looks like he's going to play the 10. He was trying to play the 10 to leave it in front of the 6 ball, most likely. I might have a back cut on the 6 here. You're sort of turning the cue ball wild, but don't you sort of like shuffling this a bit? Even the bank, bringing the 6 ball back, gives you a little bit of cue ball development into the 9 and the 10. Or maybe the 2 first. I'm probably just playing safe. That was the overcorrection. Because with my last attempt on the safe on the 6 ball, I underhit it by a good margin, and this time I overhit it. I just wanted to leave him on the other side of the 6. Oh, here's our karaoke laser light show. So yeah, imagine you're down on the shot and you get lasers in your eyes. Oh, that's a good shot, Bryan. Still got some work to do to get on the 8. Is he banking this? Interesting. I wonder... Huh. He's pointing at the table. I wonder if he was trying to bank the 9, like bank it back in the side, and draw the cue ball back for the 8 in the top right? I mean, if you're me, you got to be happy to just be at the table at this point. And another good opportunity for a safe. Pretty sure if I have enough of the 2, I should just be able to roll him under that. Keep him blocked. The combo was on. The combo was on. I should have just gone for it. Because you're pretty likely to come away with a look at the 2 ball. I don't know if I considered that. I don't remember considering that. He's still going to be funny on the 8 unless he rolls into it. You could shoot this in the side and then come back into the 8 and the 2. Yeah, doesn't love that. Not sure what the plan was there, but he's still okay. I think he could just make the 6. As long as he doesn't give me a good look at the 2. Yeah, that's probably the play. Just roll the 8 into the 6. Hit it well. The angle's good. Yeah, he wanted the... I think what he's gesturing about there is he wanted the cue ball back above the 2 so that I was fully blocked. I'm in a tough spot here. I remember the situation pretty well. I look at the back cut on the 2. but it's a stretch. And with the bridge, it's kind of hard to sight that in. I looked at potentially coming thin off the left side of the 2 and going across table, trying to keep him blocked, or roll the 2 in front of the 8. It's really touchy. It's really hard to control that speed. I would have a hard time with that anyway. I think what I come away with is going off the bottom side of the 2 ball here, closest to this bottom long rail, and leave him wedged on the 8 or kind of behind the 8 at such an angle that he doesn't have a good shot. And I think realistically that's a decent strategy. Let me know what you guys think about the situation though, what you might try here. Because I wasn't coming up with great ideas at the table. The other thing that I'm noticing, just as a sidebar, is the very pinpoint tip position with this particular shaft, with this carbon fiber shaft. If I'm super, super close to the ball, or I have to make a really, really thin cut, or, you know, that's like just an edge of the ball's available to me, I'm noticing the deflection much more than I did before. It's a pretty good play. I think that was the effort, is either get the cue ball below the 8 so that he didn't really have a cut shot on it, or get the 2 ball in front of the 8 so that he wouldn't be able to shoot it in. And he lands almost straight on the 8 with just a tiny bit of room. And unfortunately, the camera angle's no good here. I had my captain watch the hit. He said it was a good hit. It looked okay to me. But he puts that one away. I just let him get to the 8. Makes the head ball here. But yeah, the additional deflection effect on that shaft was something that wasn't as obvious to me before, but for whatever reason, I'm just noticing it a lot. I had a situation in League a few weeks ago where I had to like shoot around something. Basically, it wasn't even a swerve shot. I had the edge on the ball and I just like shot right into my opponent's ball and gave up ball in hand on that. And I just like misjudged the deflection at close range. Pretty fascinating. I don't know if that's a result of growth from me, that I'm, you know, noticing minutia in a way that I wasn't really before. Because it's not like, functionally speaking, anything changed with my equipment. It's all the same equipment. Meanwhile, I'm back at the table. Got to win this game. Really don't want to come out of 8 ball being down 4-1. Spirits are not high at this point in the match, being down 3-1 in 8 ball when I'm like supposed to be good at 8 ball, whatever that means. I didn't want to take the 9 ball here because I saw that the 15 put me on the 11, or at least rolled me into the 11. I wanted to develop that because it gives me a better chance of getting out. And I have to try to make something happen here to put me back in that mindset of getting out. More the, you know, killer mindset that I'm looking for in my game. I get on the 11, but it's not friendly. I think what I end up doing here is just rolling the 11 out into a playable position and then leaving him between the 8 and the 6 to where he doesn't really have a great shot. I do have a shot at the 10. 10 goes in the bottom left. So offensively, there are some things there. I think the concern was that I don't have a good way to get to the 13. Although, I don't know, looking at it now, can't you just play the 10 in the bottom left, land on the 13, and sort of come across for the 11-6 development? That seems doable. That might be the play. Basically a stop shot on the 10, stun down to the long rail, and then the 13 over for the combo, or... Yeah, it's this kind of play. It's this kind of like overly conservative, I'm not ready to win strategy. It's been biting me. The balls don't care if you think you're supposed to win. You need to make it happen. He's in an interesting spot. He could maybe, yeah, thin off the 6, just try to get in front of the 14. That is a shot. That's a way to make him go. What would happen there? Off the 4 and off the 14 or something? But rearrange the furniture a little bit. In his favor, 4 ball goes, everything goes. He just needs to make a good shot from here. The 3 in the side or the 5 in the bottom right. Went for the 5, just slightly undercut it. Leaves me on the short rail, pretty far from everything. I'm making sure the 12 ball goes, which I believe it does. I have to make an opening shot on the 9, scratches on, so I'll have to stun off this, or kind of spin off this or something to avoid the scratch, which means I'll have to come into it with a bit more pace. Kind of turn the cue ball loose a little bit here, so I'll have to rely on a bit of a roll. 11's now blocked by the 14 and 13, so those will have to go first. I landed on the 12. No, it's the 10. I have to play the 10 first, and then probably stun over for the 12 if the 12 goes past the 13. If not, I have to stun over for the 14-13 combo. That shot feels good, though. That one should help settle me a little bit. I should be able to play this combo and hold for the 14. If not, I'll come across and shape the 12. Yeah, I was trying to shape the 14, and here's the play to get across. Probably between the 12 and the 8, this sort of line. And to be honest, I need practice with these. I usually approach the table feeling like I know how to do this, but then I don't always get the result that I'm looking for. It looks like I'm just queuing kind of left. Might need a pinch of low. Yeah, because it came like straight off it. I remember this shot in particular. Very demanding shot here. So what I decide to go for is to slice the 12 in the side with high inside and hit the top long rail to the bottom long rail and then get back above the 11 with an angle to come across for the 8. And when I'm playing well, I'll hit those pretty consistently. I hit that one good. But it was funny because I came down on that shot and I was like, I know how to shoot this one. Let's see if it works out today. And again, it's not the right attitude, man. Like, go up to that and trust your unconscious game, trust your automatic game, because this kind of thing will happen. You're going to take this one for granted. Oh, I reset. Queuing's a little awkward getting over the 3 ball here. But this is very makeable. You got to shoot this in and watch how easy I hit this ball. Just trying to control for the speed too much on the 8. And the speed was nice, but it completely mishit the 11. I'm not sure if the 4 ball will go past the 11 or if it would have to go into the short rail first. But Bryan's got a great opportunity to steal this game if the 4 ball goes. And he landed on the 3 ball. He might even be able to get, it's probably too far out. Yeah, I don't think he could have gotten into the 4 ball from there. Get up above the 7. Just slid past it. He could develop the 4 from here if he wanted to. Otherwise, if the 4 goes clean, you just hold the cue ball. Oh, Bryan. Interesting. Maybe he was playing safe. This is the situation I was talking about earlier where it's super, super thin. I do have an edge on the 11, but because I've been like weirdly hyper aware of the deflection on the cue, I'll get down on this ball and just be like, I feel like I'm misjudging this. But you don't need any spin here. You just have to make good contact. And I still underhit that one. But I'm gonna come away with something. You gotta make this one, dude. You gotta make this ball and stay in the match. Shorter form. This is a correction that I need to make when I'm feeling like I'm not settled. I think in the match, yeah, it was not my best 8-ball. In more ways than one. I think that's something that I need to remember when I'm early in the match. Start with a shorter form and open things up as I get comfortable. That's a really important takeaway. I gotta remember that one. Here's something. I don't know if Bryan's aware that you can push, because he fired at that one before I had a chance to say anything. And I will take ball in hand from there because I need it. This is also the kind of layout that if I develop this 5-ball and get out from here, that's gonna really help me settle. But I start to figure out how to play pool at this point. Just a change of game really made a big difference for me on this day. And 9-ball felt a lot better than 8-ball normally does. I was just ready for more of a stroke game than like a pokey strategy game. I think what I'm looking for here is to develop the 5 and still leave myself a look at the 3. So I want to come pretty full into the 5. I want to get past it. That works. I wonder if just playing full into the 5 and staying above the 9-ball would have been a better play there. But confidence is coming up, so I'll probably just rifle this one in and come across table. That'll work. This is a little funny. I remember playing a 2-way here where I just saw the angle and I banked this 4-ball and know that the cue ball's tracking down towards the 5. It's a small window on the 5, so your speed control has to be on point. But played that pretty good. No love. Get stuck on the 9. But watch the tempo. Use my system. Still being smart. And I should be able to kick at this 5-ball. The problem is if you make this 5-ball, you're not guaranteed to get a reward on the 6. Yeah, and I end up kicking it in sort of from the underside of the 5. And I have to kick at the 6 too. I should have jumped at the 6. I don't know if I even thought about that. It's a very hittable 6-ball to jump over the 7. And you're not going to give up ball in hand as long as you don't jump anything off the, or jump the cue ball off the table. But I decided to kick at it long. I don't mind this, but I think I misjudged it. Yeah, not by much. Not by too much. I can't imagine I get this back right. Bryan's supposed to get out from here. I feel like Bryan's the kind of guy who's probably got like a home bar and a table at home and just seems like a fun dude. Get nasty. Get on top of the 9 or something. Nah, he's fine. Oh, Overcooked this one, needs a bounce. Or scratch for me. Nope. Yeah, we're not supposed to get this one back. Although, looks a little funny. He doesn't want to see it. That ties it up. He let me back in there. Almost snaps the 9. Let's see. I've got an edge on the 1. If I'm feeling really aggressive, I might bank the 1. Otherwise, I really need to play safe here. I don't remember what I go for. Maybe the 1's makeable on the top side. Let's see how much of it I have. Oh, I tried to make it. Oh, wasn't off by much. Okay, not tough to land on the 3 from here. I think you want to be on the top long rail side of it for the combination on the 7. Oh, we missed it. Okay. If the 1 is past the 3, then I should be able to play the combination. I remember this rack. This one really settles me down. Able to get much more into my automatic process. It took out my earbuds for some reason. Play the combo, make sure the 1 ball lays up. This one really settles me because I was trusting my automatic process more. My tempo was better. Just sort of forced confidence a little bit. You can thin this 2 rails, like high outside. I decided to go low outside and come around. Just open up the angle a little bit and give myself more of a cut on the 3 so that I can get back for the 4. The 4 is a little funny because of the 6 being such a big blocker. But yeah, basically I want to come across off 2 rails and out for the 4 ball. Good habits here. Pick my spot on the table, be very precise about my spot. Oh, I wanted to come off 3. That works. I think I like that better than trying to hold it off 2. Come out and around for the 5. You guys know I love my inside, but I'm not going to mess with that here. That's a good play. Nice big window for the 5 out there. Come out and across for the 6 in the side, or do I just come straight across for the 6 in the corner? Either left corner works, top left or bottom left. Interesting, I didn't telegraph it this time. I think I'm probably shaping it in the bottom left. No, I wanted to come across again. That works. I think I'm on the back side of the 6 though. So I'll probably, if I have enough angle, if I'm straight on it, I'll probably just stop it. But if I have enough angle, I just want to stroke it in. Watch, I'm going to stun it to the long rail and out. Yeah, firm. It's good. This is a winning tempo for me. This is where I need to be. It's the kind of thing that watching the videos, I have to sort of memorize this and like cue myself into playing this way. Even if it doesn't always work out, just repeating that over and over and over, because look how well I hit that 8 ball. That's a winning tempo. It's a confident tempo. It feels better to play that way. This is nice. I'm on the 2 ball. 3's pretty weird though. Hard to tell if I can even cut the 3 in. Pretty natural bank on the 2 to stop it there. If there's enough room, that would be a good play. If not, I can just play safe on the 2 and let's see. Might just decide to move the 2 ball down closer there and keep it blocked. No, I decided to move the cue ball. That's not great. I think I was trying to put him under the 4-ball. Not sure. I'll have to ask him. It's a good shot. He must like the 3-ball. Maybe it's just cuttable. I misjudge those more than I should, guys. Just don't always know where the edge of the ball is. It's a good hit, right? Hit the 3 and then hit the 9 and it rolled it down. Just misjudge those sometimes. I don't know where they're going. I'm aggro enough at this point that I might just send it at the 9. I should probably play safe. I should probably just roll him behind the 9. But I'm pretty silly. Let's see if I just attack this one. It's not a super hard shot. I didn't hit it too bad. Got away with it. Yeah, a little table tap. That's not nice. I don't think he's got an edge on it. I think he has to kick at it, maybe off the long rail. Just kick at it with some pace, try to make something happen. Realistically, if you go long rail and then the 3-ball, you could probably make the 6 if he can shoot between the 7 and the 4. Otherwise, oh, miscue probably. Okay. I have to roll down. The 5-6 is interesting because you want the 5 to lay up. Everything else is pretty straightforward here. Pretty flat on the 4-ball, but I just need to pick my spot on the 5. Decide to flirt with the 7-ball a little bit for some reason. And longer shot on the 5 than I would like. Kind of tough on the 5. You could roll this in. I think that's probably the best play. Just to make sure that the 5-ball stays in the pocket. I tried to like drag at it a little bit. Yeah, it's just too likely to go wrong. And just like that, I'm on the wrong side of the 5. Since I'm sort of in that attacky mode, you could bank the 5 in the top right corner. I think there's enough room there to play the tight bank. I could just roll at the 8, try to make the 8, and that moves the 5 out into the center of the table. Yeah, I tried to go at the 8. Not my best work. Let's see if Bryan can get on the 7. Just sort of coming across table would be okay here if the 7 goes easily in the side. He's pretty thin on the 5 here. Yeah. It's a good play. This is pretty good. He's under the 7, but he might be too high above the 7-ball to get on the 8. Just gonna roll this in. He's gonna roll them both in. Oh, that hurts. This one was interesting too. I remember this situation. This should be just like gobble these 2 up. But watch how I underhit this. It turns out okay, guys. Like don't worry about me or anything. But like, come on, dude. You could make this 9-ball unmissable instead of like kind of missable. That's okay. That's pool. That looks kind of like pool. This was breaking okay. I think I need to be checking the rack more. In the second match of the day, I was a lot more diligent about that, and I got much better results. I just need to look at the rack and read it and make decisions about it. This is a good play here. Could have thought about setting up a 1-9 combination, potentially. He does give me ball in hand. Which is just what I was hoping for. You come like kind of out and across for the 2, or do I just land under the 2 and roll up for the 3? Yeah, mechanics are looking a lot more confident at this point, even despite the silly 8 to 9 situation from the last rack. Should just roll up for the 3. Oh, I tried to stun across. If only there were some way to make that way easier. I just gave myself the wrong angle on the 2, and then I had to work too hard to get it across. It's interesting, though, because I remember that one not flustering me as much as the 8-ball mess-ups were. I think I was just finding my stroke. It's the stuff that I talked about, like keeping the form a little shorter at the beginning of the match and opening up. I gotta remember that. I have a tournament tonight, so I'm gonna actually try to... It's on the big table, though, so I don't know how well that's gonna work out, but we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to record there or not, but I'm gonna bring my stuff. You kind of never know when you go to a new place. I don't know why he's so hand flippy about this. I thought he played that well. It went weird off the point. But he should be able to shape the 5 in the bottom right-hand corner. He got perfect on the 4. It's just evidently not what he wanted. Oh, I can't want that. Oh, that's going to be fine. I thought he was scratching. This is makeable here. Kind of tricky. Oh. Yeah, tough one. I think my play from here is get behind the 6. Yeah, so 5 in the side, roll behind the 6, give myself an angle. I'd like to be shooting the 7 in the bottom right-hand corner, but even if I get weird on the 6 or kind of straight on the 6, I can play the 7 in the bottom left. The reason I'm doing that is because the 6 does not go in the top right, I'm almost certain. Yeah, I don't think I'd be doing this if the 6 went in the top right. So I should just be able to roll through this, get straight on the 7. It's a good simple play. And don't try to hammer this in like I hammered that 2-ball earlier. You don't need to get anything out of this. Just guarantee that you make the 7 and you are going to have a shot at the 9. That's part of it. That's how you play pool. You just got to make this one. All right, we'll take that one. Let's see if we can close this out. Nice. Better break. Probably better rack that time too. And I don't know if the 1-ball goes. If it does, it puts me right on the 2. I kind of remember this. I think I felt like it went and I just wanted to snipe it in, but I didn't take enough time. Ugh. I think it was available. I think it went. I rushed that one a little bit for sure. Nice shot. It's gonna land okay on the 2. Just gotta get across for the 3. You want to be pretty straight on the 3. Kind of spinning out. It's gonna land all right. You try to hold this. Yeah, that works. Kind of hold this one too. And as long as you're above the 5, we sort of rolled out. Yeah, rolling down table actually gave him a better chance of having a look at the 5. Ugh, just sort of came across it. Oh man, look at this. Come on, give me a look at it. I don't know if I can swerve through. It's pretty thin between the 7 and the 8. Going all the way around the 8 with a swerve is pretty tough. Kicking at it is possible. 2 rail kick's probably my best bet towards the top left corner. The 1 rail kick, I believe, was blocked by the 9. The natural line was blocked by the 9. Jump shot is possible, but it's a big hop for the cue ball, which means potentially, guaranteed to have a big second hop. So you could accidentally completely clear the 5. So I look at my 1 rail kick. I'm just diamond splitting basically to look at the lines, because they're in more or less the same spot along the rail. So I'm trying to find the center point here and then parallel shift over to the 2 rail contact point. I don't remember how close I get on this one. It's another one that I need practice with. Yeah, off by a lot. Off by like a diamond. All right, Bryan, you need this one. Could just roll through for the 8 in the bottom left corner. He could stun out for the 8 in the side. Sort of drifted out. It's between the 2, but good options either way. They're both playable. You can like play it in the side and float back down, right? That'll do. Gotta make this one. Got him. He felt like he was gonna scratch. All right. Let's shut this down. Dry break, open layout. Nothing too tough. 2 to the 3 might be a little funny, but honestly, I think the angle's perfect right now. Looks like a stop shot on the 1, puts me on the 2. Low left to get back down below the 3. As long as I get somewhat straight on the 3, I should be able to come across for the 4. Bit of travel with the 5 to the 6. There's really nothing too crazy here. Nice. Able to hold that. Easy queuing. I look at my line on the 3. Plenty of room on the 2 to get past the 4. Yeah, smooth. Good line on the 3. Interesting, yeah. So I look at rolling up to play the 4 on the side, but I think coming over here, it's simpler to just play the 4 in the bottom left, isn't it? And that's always going to put you on the 5. Yeah, it's less cue ball travel. And you're not messing with the 7 ball. And I like this too. I could have held it, but roll down and back, let the stroke out a little bit more, always end up with an angle on the 5. This is that tempo. I picked my exact spot on the 6. Just slightly off the rail, still played into the window here. I'm a little above the 6 ball, so I might have to go 2 rails down towards the corner, the bottom right corner. And then, yeah, I want to roll up for the 7 in the top left. It would have been nice to get on the 7 in the side, but I think, again, minimizing travel. You're on a bar table. None of the shots are ever that long of a shot. And this one looks pretty smooth. Again, kind of on the back side of the 7, but I should just be able to roll through this. Not as much pace, but leaves a natural angle from the 8 to the 9. Yeah. And the 9's unmissable from anywhere up table. It's good. It's a nice sporty out. Good way to finish out the set. So I felt good about this one ultimately. Thanks for checking this one out. Glad to be back with Masters. Glad to be back with the team. Proving to myself a little bit, right? I deserve to be there. And I'm excited about the second match too. I'm looking forward to doing that commentary. So thanks for being with me here today. The next one will be up in about a week or so. And then I'll try to get out whatever other content I can. So stay tuned and you'll be seeing me again soon.